Ollie ran between the parked cars with his shoes half torn and his breath loud in his chest. The evening air was cold and the city lights made long shadows on the road. He did not run for fun and he did not run to play. He ran because he had learned how fast trouble can catch a small boy. Near the big market, a black car stopped too quickly and a man stepped out. The man wore a clean coat and his hair was neat like someone from a poster. His name was Omar and people in the city knew him as a rich businessman. He owned stores and buildings and his face often appeared in local news. Omar was not supposed to be on this street today. He had come in secret with only one driver and no guards. He told himself he wanted to feel normal for 1 hour. He wanted to walk and think without people asking for photos and favors. Ollie saw him first because Ollie always watched the street like it was a book. Ollie could read the small signs that other people ignored. A strange car turning twice on the same road. 2 men standing too still near the corner. A driver looking down at a phone instead of watching the boss. Ollie slowed his run and looked behind him. The same 2 men started walking faster. Their eyes were sharp and their faces did not show kindness. Ollie knew that look because he had seen it when people came to take things. Omar did not notice them until Ollie moved close to him. Ollie grabbed the sleeve of Omar's coat without asking. Omar turned in shock and pulled his arm back. Ollie looked up and spoke fast because time was thin. You need to move now. Do not ask why. They are not here to talk. They are here to trap you. Omar stared at the boy like the boy was a strange wind. Omar wanted to say, "Who are you and why are you touching me?" But then Omar saw the 2 men and he felt something cold in his stomach. Omar knew their faces from a problem that started inside his own company. Omar stepped back toward his car, but the men were already close. The driver lifted his head too late and froze. One of the men raised a hand like he owned the street. The other man smiled like a lock closing. Ollie pulled Omar the other way toward the trash area behind the market. Omar resisted for 1 second because pride is heavy. Ollie did not stop pulling because fear is stronger than pride. Omar followed because he realized the boy was not playing. They ran past boxes and broken crates and a wet wall. The smell of old food and plastic filled the air. Omar covered his nose with his sleeve. Ollie did not care about the smell because he cared about living. Ollie pointed at a large trash container with a lid. Omar shook his head like he could not believe what he heard. Ollie spoke again with a hard voice. Get in now. Omar looked at his clean coat and his expensive shoes. He looked at the dirty container like it was an insult. Then he heard quick steps and low voices coming closer. His choice became very small. Omar opened the lid and the smell hit him like a wave. He held his breath and climbed in carefully. Ollie pushed some bags to the side to make room. Omar sat down and pulled his knees close to his chest. Ollie lowered the lid, but not fully. Ollie left a small space for air. Ollie then moved away and took a deep breath. He stood near a wall like he was just another tired kid. The 2 men came into the trash area seconds later. One man looked around with anger in his eyes. The other man searched the ground like he was hunting a lost key. They did not notice the container because it was too normal for them. Where did he go? He was right here. Check behind the boxes. Check the back gate. Ollie kept his face calm and his body loose. Ollie pretended to pick up a piece of cardboard. Ollie acted like he was busy with nothing important. Inside the container, Omar tried not to breathe too loudly. One man looked at Ollie and walked closer. His shoes were clean and his shirt looked too new for this place. He stared at Ollie like he wanted to break the boy with his eyes. Ollie stared back with a blank face like an empty wall. Did you see a man come here? Ollie shrugged slowly and pointed toward the street. He did not speak too much because words can trap you. The man watched Ollie for a long moment. The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a small roll of cash. He held it up like a promise. Tell me where he went and this is yours. Ollie looked at the money and felt the ache of hunger rise in him. He had not eaten a real meal in 2 days. He imagined warm bread and sweet tea. He imagined sleeping with a full stomach. Then, Ollie remembered something else. He remembered his mother telling him long ago that easy money burns fast. He remembered her saying that a clean heart lasts longer than a full pocket. Ollie swallowed and looked away from the cash. Ollie pointed again toward the street and shook his head. The man's smile faded into a hard line. He leaned closer and spoke in a low voice. "Do not lie to me." Ollie stayed still and did not blink. The second man called from behind the crates. "There is no one here. We should circle the block." The first man stared at Ollie one last time. He lowered the cash and slipped it back into his pocket. He walked away with a curse under his breath. Both men left the trash area and their steps faded. Ollie waited until the street sounds returned to normal. Ollie walked to the container and tapped the lid softly. He opened it just a little and whispered, "They are gone." Omar lifted his head slowly and pulled air into his lungs. Omar climbed out and his coat was now stained and his hands were dirty. He looked at Ollie with a face full of confusion and respect. He did not know what to say first. "Thank you" came out like a small broken sound. Ollie nodded like it was nothing, but his eyes were tired. Omar saw the thin arms and the cracked lips. Omar saw a child who carried grown-up fear. Omar felt shame because he had lived so soft while this boy lived so hard. Omar took out his phone with shaking hands. He checked it and saw many missed calls and messages. One message stood out from his assistant Rafi. It said the board meeting is moved to tomorrow morning and you must come alone. Omar felt a chill because it sounded like a trap. Ollie watched him and understood that danger was not finished. Ollie spoke quietly like someone older than his years. "They will come again." Omar looked at Ollie and made a choice that surprised even him. He said, "You should not stay on this street tonight." Ollie almost laughed because where else would he go? Omar said, "Come with me and I will keep you safe." Ollie hesitated because trust is hard when life hurts you. Omar held out his hand and did not force it. Ollie looked at the hand and then at the clean face now marked with dirt. Ollie placed his small hand in Omar's hand. Omar did not know that this one moment would change the whole city. Ollie did not know that tomorrow would bring a truth bigger than any fear. They walked away from the trash area together into the lights. In the distance, a third car watched them in silence. Omar and Ollie walked through the quiet street as the night air wrapped around them like a thin blanket. Cars passed with soft sounds and the city slowly forgot what almost happened. Ollie stayed close to Omar because danger had taught him how to move. Omar felt the small hand in his and realized how light the boy was. They reached a simple hotel that Omar used when he wanted no attention. The front door was old but clean and the light inside was warm. Omar spoke softly to the man at the desk and asked for a small room. No one asked questions because Omar had learned how to hide his name. Ollie stepped inside and looked around like it was another world. There was a bed with white sheets and a small table with a lamp. Ollie had not seen a place like this in a long time. His eyes moved slowly like he did not want to wake a dream. Omar watched Ollie and felt something deep in his chest. He thought about his own childhood that was full of comfort. He thought about how far this boy had walked alone. Omar said, "You can rest here tonight." Ollie nodded, but he did not sit at first. He waited like someone who expects a trick. Omar sat on the edge of the bed and took off his dirty coat. He folded it and placed it on the chair. Ollie slowly sat on the floor because it felt safer. Omar saw that and felt another sharp pain of shame. Omar spoke in a gentle voice. "You can use the bed, it is for you." Ollie looked at Omar and then at the bed. He stood up slowly and touched the soft sheet. He sat down and held the fabric like it might vanish. His shoulders finally dropped a little. Omar checked his phone again and saw more messages from Rafi. Each message sounded more worried than the last. One said, "People inside the company are turning against you." Another said, "Tomorrow is not safe." Omar felt trapped by his own world. He had built his success with many people. Now some of them wanted to push him out. Ali noticed Omar's face change and spoke softly. "You are scared like me." Omar looked at Ali with surprise. He nodded because the boy was right. Ali said, "When I am scared, I watch who moves too much." Omar listened because this small boy had saved his life. Ali said, "Bad people always rush when they think they are winning." Ali said, "Good people wait and see." Omar felt the truth in those simple words. Omar made a call to Rafi with a low voice. He told Rafi to change the meeting place. He told Rafi to bring only one trusted person. Rafi sounded shocked but agreed. After the call, Omar looked at Ali again. He asked, "Where is your family?" Ali looked down and said, "They are gone." Ali did not say more because his heart was tired. Omar did not push because he felt the pain in that short answer. He stood up and went to the small bathroom. He brought a towel and a bar of soap. He placed them near Ali. "You can clean your hands and face." Ali took the towel and soap like they were treasure. He went to the sink and slowly washed the street away. The water turned dark and then clear again. Ali looked at himself in the mirror. He saw a boy with sharp eyes and messy hair. He also saw a boy who was still alive. That made him smile just a little. Omar watched from the side and felt something warm. He had no children of his own. He suddenly imagined Ali in a clean shirt and safe bed. The thought stayed in his mind. They sat together and shared a simple meal that Omar ordered. Bread and soup never tasted so good to Ali. He ate slowly like he wanted to remember every bite. Omar watched him and felt quiet joy. Outside, the city lights moved like distant stars. Inside, the small room felt like a shelter. But danger was not sleeping. Far away, the two men from before were talking to someone else. The third car that followed Omar sent a message to a hidden phone. It said, "The rich man is with a street boy." The reply came fast. "Do not lose them." Back in the room, Ali suddenly looked at the door. Omar asked, "What is wrong?" Ali said, "I feel eyes on us." Omar believed him because Ali had been right before. Omar turned off the main light and left only the small lamp. He locked the door quietly. Ali moved closer to the bed. They waited in silence for a moment. Nothing happened, but the feeling stayed. Omar knew tomorrow would bring something big. He looked at Ali and said, "You helped me when you did not have to." Ali shrugged like it was simple. Ali said, "I just did what was right." Omar smiled and said, "That is rare." Ali did not understand, but he liked the smile. The night slowly passed around them. Morning light came through the small window. Ali woke first because the street had trained him. He saw Omar sleeping on the chair. Omar looked tired and older in sleep. Ali felt something new. He felt like he wanted to protect this man. Omar had tried to protect him too. That made them a strange team. Omar woke and looked at the bright sky. He remembered the meeting that waited. He remembered the faces of those men. He felt a hard knot in his chest. Ali sat on the bed and said, "Today will change things." Omar asked, "How do you know?" Ali said, "The air feels heavy before big truth." Omar did not laugh because the boy had been right too many times. Omar and Ali got ready to leave. Omar gave Ali a clean shirt from a small bag. Ali put it on and felt like a new person. He looked at Omar with wide eyes. They stepped out into the busy morning street. People moved fast with their own worries. No one knew what was about to happen. The hidden car was still there watching. Omar held Ali's hand again as they walked. He felt like this small hand was now his guide. Ali looked ahead with calm eyes. Both of them were moving toward a moment that would shake the city. Omar and Ali walked toward the tall building where the meeting was moved. The morning sun shined on the glass walls like a bright warning. Ali stayed close because the city was loud and full of unknown faces. Omar felt many eyes on him, even when he could not see them. The building door opened with a soft sound and cool air came out. Rafi stood inside with a worried face. He saw Omar and let out a breath of relief. He saw Ali and looked confused. Omar said, "He is with me." Rafi nodded because Omar's voice was firm. They walked together into a small meeting room. Only one other man waited there, and his name was Sammy. Sammy was someone Omar trusted for many years. Sammy looked at Ali and smiled gently. Ali did not smile back because he was watching everything. Omar closed the door behind them. Omar said, "People inside the company are trying to remove me." Rafi nodded and said, "They have planned to trap you today." Sammy said, "They want you to sign papers that give them control." Omar felt anger but kept his face calm. Ali listened even though the words were grown up. He understood one thing clearly. People wanted to take something from Omar. That was the same kind of danger he knew on the street. Omar said, "We will not give them anything." Rafi said, "They will bring pressure." Sammy said, "They will use fear." Ali said, "Fear only works when you run." All three men looked at Ali. Ali stood on the chair so they could see him. Ali said, "When bad people think you are weak, they move fast." Ali said, "When they think you are ready, they make mistakes." Omar felt a strange strength from the boy. He decided to use that idea. He told Rafi to call the board and tell them he was ready to meet. Rafi made the call with shaking hands. Soon many people came into the big meeting room. Men and women in suits sat around a long table. Some faces were cold and some were false. Ali sat near Omar and stayed quiet. One man named Noor spoke first. He said, "Omar has made mistakes and must step aside." Another woman added that new leadership is needed. Omar listened without moving. They placed papers in front of Omar. They said, "Sign, and this will all be easy." Omar felt the trap close around him. Ali gently touched Omar's arm. Omar looked at Ali and saw calm eyes. He took a deep breath. He pushed the papers back across the table. He said, "I will not sign." The room filled with sharp voices. Some people stood up and some pointed fingers. They tried to scare him. Ali watched their faces carefully. Ali saw one man look toward the door. Ali saw a woman whisper to someone. Ali felt the rush of hidden plans. Ali leaned close to Omar and spoke softly. "They think they already won." Omar nodded and suddenly smiled. That smile made some people pause. Omar stood up slowly. Omar said, "I know about the secret money." The room went silent. Omar said, "I know how some of you moved it away." Faces turned pale around the table. Rafi and Sammy looked shocked. Omar said, "I did not know before, but now I do." He said, "Last night someone tried to stop me from speaking." He looked straight at Noor. Noor's face changed. He tried to laugh but it sounded weak. He said, "You have no proof." Omar raised his phone. Omar played a message from the hidden car. It was sent to the wrong number by mistake. It spoke about following Omar. It spoke about pushing him to sign. The room filled with whispers. Some people stood back from Noor. Noor's eyes moved like a trapped animal. Ali felt proud inside. Sammy spoke next. He said he has copies of company records. He said they show secret deals. More people gasped. Noor tried to leave. The door did not open because security now stood there. The truth was now too big to run from. Ali felt a small smile inside his chest. The board members started talking loudly. Some were angry and some were afraid. The power that once belonged to Noor was breaking. Omar felt relief like a heavy weight falling. After a long time the meeting ended. Noor and others were taken away for questions. The company was safe again. Omar felt like he could finally breathe. Omar knelt in front of Ali. He placed his hands on the boy's shoulders. He said, "You helped save everything." Ali looked shy and looked down. Ali said, "I just watched." Omar smiled and said that was enough. Rafi and Sammy watched with warm eyes. They saw something special in this small boy. Outside the building the city kept moving. But inside Omar's world had changed. He had faced danger and truth. And a street boy had stood beside him. Omar took Ali's hand again as they left. He felt like this hand now held a future. Ali looked up at the tall sky. He felt something like hope for the first time in a long time. Omar and Ali walked out of the tall building as the warm sun touched their faces. The city looked different now, like it had taken a deep breath. Ali felt lighter in his chest, even though he did not know why. Omar felt free in a way he had not felt in many years. People outside were talking about the big meeting. Some were surprised and some were curious. No one knew the full story yet. Ali stayed close to Omar because crowds were still strange to him. Omar took Ali to a quiet park near the river. Trees moved softly in the wind. Birds flew low and the water shined. Ali sat on a bench and watched everything like a movie. Omar sat beside him and stayed quiet for a moment. He thought about how close he came to losing everything. He thought about a small boy who stood in front of fear. He felt something change deep inside. Omar said, "Ali, you saved my life." Ali looked at him and shrugged. Ali said, "You would have done the same." Omar shook his head slowly. Omar said, "Many people walk past pain." Omar said, "You ran toward it." Ali did not know what to say. He just looked at the river and felt warm inside. Omar asked, "Ali, what do you want?" Ali thought for a long time. He said, "I want a place where I do not have to run." Omar nodded because he understood. Omar took out his phone and made a call. He told Rafi to prepare a small house. He told Rafi to make it safe and simple. Rafi said it would be ready soon. Ali listened with wide eyes. He did not want to believe too much. Life had taught him that big promises can break. Omar saw the doubt and spoke softly. Omar said, "I am not sending you away." Omar said, "I want you to stay with me." Ali felt his throat tighten. He had never heard words like that before. Ali asked, "You mean for real?" Omar smiled and said yes. Ali looked down to hide the wet in his eyes. His heart was beating fast with something new. They walked through the park together. People passed them without knowing their story. Ali felt like he was finally walking toward something. Omar felt like he had found something he did not know he was missing. Later they went to a quiet building that Omar owned. It was not big, but it was warm. Ali saw a small room with a bed and a window. He touched the wall like it was a dream. Omar said, "This can be yours." Ali looked at the room again. He slowly sat on the bed. It was soft and real. Ali said, "Thank you," in a small voice. Omar felt a tight feeling in his chest. He knew this was more important than any business deal. Ali was no longer alone. News about the company spread across the city. People learned that Omar stood strong. They learned that truth came out. They did not know a small boy helped make it happen. Omar did not talk about Ali to the news. He wanted to protect him. Ali needed time to feel safe. That was more important than any story. Days passed and Ali started to smile more. He went outside without fear. He slept through the night. He felt what peace was like. Omar watched him and felt proud. He started to change too. He spent less time chasing money. He spent more time being present. One evening Ali and Omar sat on the roof. The sky was full of soft colors. Ali said, "I never thought my life could be this." Omar said, "Neither did I." Ali asked if the bad people will come back. Omar said no, because the truth is stronger. Ali nodded and believed him. He had learned that some adults keep their word. Ali looked at Omar and said, "You are my family now." Omar felt tears rise in his eyes. He said, "Yes, we are family." The word felt powerful and warm. The city kept moving around them. Cars passed and lights shined. But inside that small moment was something special. A boy and a man found each other. Omar knew his life would never be the same. Ali knew his fear was fading. Together they had faced something big. Together they had found a new start. And somewhere far away the trash container sat empty. It was just a silent box now. But it once held a moment that changed everything. A moment where a homeless boy and a millionaire became more than strangers.